Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds United's One Cineverse. And this is the show where I, your host Christopher and Miller, will bring you the latest news from the world of movies, and I will give you insight into what it all means. Of course, and there was not a lot to go on about this week. There have been plenty of things to talk about. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nerds United's One. And there were there were plenty of stuff to talk about. There was some plenty of stuff to talk about. Mainly it's a little week, not a lot eventful in the world of movie news, but we got some stuff to discuss. So let's get on with it. Most notably, the first item on the agenda today is the rumor going around that Channing Tatum, who was slated to star in the upcoming X-Men origin, in the X-Men spinoff, centered on the character of Gambit. He was basically rumored to. He was basically rumored. There was basically rumors that he had departed from the project, and I guess around the studio is scrambling to do what to do next, And the director of the project, Ruben Wyatt, who directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I'm pretty certain he is not grasping. I would say grasping straws, but he's figuring out what else. He maybe figure out what to do next if Tatum, if the rumors are true that Tatum has departed the project, And for me, I was quite disappointed at this. He seemed the kind of guy who could basically play off this character. He seemed like the kind of actor that he was perfectly suited to this role. The kinds of personality that Gambit has, And I liked Channing Tatum quite a bit, especially on the role of the number of movies he's done, especially for recent, with the Jump Street movies, and he did a fantastic performance in Foxcatcher, which I thought he should have received a certain number of accolades for that performance. But if the rumors are true, it would certainly be a shame, and especially with a character like Gambit, who most comic book fans, mostly would certainly like to see as the star of his own film. It would certainly be a disappointment, most certainly. But there may be, they may even considering canceling the project altogether. Hopefully that won't be an inevitability, but we don't know. I mean, hopefully the rumors are true, but they certainly, they certainly seem pretty accurate at this point. It seems like it's definitely become reality that Channing Tatum has to lead for depart from the project. I mean, listen. I hope that this project would go into fruition, but there's so there was just not a lot that. I would say there's not a lot of hope at this point. I'm not really sure. Okay, another item on the show that we're going to discuss today is that Tom Cruise has hinted at the possibility of a sixth Mission Impossible film, which is interesting considering that Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is being released today, and it's become a winner with the critics. It's become the audience darlings of this year. And Christopher McQuarrie, who I've always liked, is directing the project and also wrote it. Of course, I liked his work going back to Usual Suspects. And he also co-wrote Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. And also he did Jack Reacher with him, which I thought was a decent film and very fairly underrated. A sixth Mission Impossible, and it's not out of the question, most certainly. But you got to wonder if Tom Cruise is able to squeeze in another installment in this franchise at this point. It's been almost 20 years since the first Mission Impossible raced to our screens. And the eyes of some, it may not seem as fresh as it was, but it still has some life. Mostly Brad Bird injected the series of a needed shot, and then, well, I don't know, said it had a needed shot in the arm. Mission Impossible 3 was fairly good, and the fourth one was great. It was really awesome. What Brad Bird did with what Brad Bird did with that film, putting his touch on the franchise. Christopher McQuarrie seems to put his and with Christopher McQuarrie, he seems to be delivering another franchise that another giant hit. I don't know about giant hit, but he seems to be firing on all cylinders for this installment. Hitting having another mission, another hit in the series. It's just, but yeah, I'm overly skeptical of Tom Cruise. Making another mission in this series. I'm really skeptical of this point. Really skeptical. But I wouldn't completely shrug off the possibility. Tom Cruise, I think, is about 53 years old at this point. Like I said, not certain about him making another one. Not certain about him making another Mission Impossible, but I'm certainly going to see another Mission Impossible film. I don't know about him starring in it, but I would be receptive to it. I'm not really certain about him being the one in the number one, but I'm really certain. I'm responding very well to another a sixth Mission Impossible installment, since this one I hear is getting a very good reaction. So we'll see about that. And also another item that we'll be discussing on the show is that Tommy Lee Jones has been cast in the next film in the Bourne franchise. And it will be, and of course, this new installment will feature Matt Damon again as Jason Bourne, and also Paul Greengrass will be returning to direct. And I like Tommy Lee Jones. I always, I've always enjoyed him. I always enjoyed the performances he gives in a number of his films. He has a really dry sort of wit to him, and the deadpan delivery he gives with his performances. Even though the guy's just spot on. I just really love this guy and the performances he gives. He's a great actor, and he seems like a bona fide fit for the franchise. He seems tailor made for it. Since also him can wait for him to appear alongside Matt Damon as Jason Bourne. I'm not certain of the kind of form of the character he's going to portray in the sequel, but but his involvement is a definite plus for me. You can't get enough of Tommy Lee Jones. So it's wonderful to see him in this installment. Very much. Another item we'll be discussing on the show today is that Chris Pine has been cast in the upcoming Wonder Woman adaptation, with Gal Gadot as in the title role. course, and we will see her as as the character in the upcoming Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. You know, and I like Chris Pine. I really like him a great deal. You know, of course, you know he played Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movies. You know, directed by J.J. Abrams, and he's a very charismatic, likable actor. You know, and according, at least to me, he hasn't really gotten the kind of roles I think he should be. Kind of gotten the roles I think he should be. He should be portraying. You know, I mean, there was at least an effort for him. You know, him playing Jack Ryan in dozens of other films. You know, it would have been possible, but you know, with Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, it was not a big success. You know, it was at least what studios were hoping for. You know, he hasn't been promoted or as exposed as I feel he should. You know, but I simply approve. You know, of him. You know, playing Steve Trevor, who is the love interest of the character. You know, of course, he's seen in multiple incarnations of the Wonder Woman, multiple Wonder Woman incarnations would be film, the television animation. Yeah, so I can say, yeah, I'm pretty okay with. I'm pretty okay with him playing opposite Gal Gadot. There was certainly, of course, the rumor of him playing Green Lantern, which I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see him either play Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner, you know. But I'm satisfied with. I'm okay with him, you know, as this character in this film, you know. And another item, and then the final item we'll be discussing on the show today is it's a trailer for The Night Before, which is a comedy film which is starring Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie has been drawn. And I thought the trailer was pretty decent. I liked it. I thought it was fairly funny in some parts. There were some parts that made me laugh out loud, you know. And because there's simply, everyone's getting tired of Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen's a decent comedian at best, you know. You know, there were certainly lots of parts that had me rolling, and it got a chuckle out of me, it got a rise out of me, you know. So most notably, the scene at the end when Seth Rogen's in the church, you know, it does have some the trailer did have some enjoyable moments, you know. I'm not. I mean, it certainly looks interesting. At least for me, I mean, it certainly looks like an interesting film. You know, it certainly looks like a hilarious movie. I wasn't really certain about the trio of Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie. You know, but they seem to do. I mean, the trio seems to have a pretty decent chemistry to them, you know. I mean, I'm not really hoping for much for this movie, but I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. I'm not certain it will be a Christmas classic, you know, but I believe the film will. I believe the film has the potential to be very hilarious. Definitely gonna check out The Night Before. Come this holiday season. Well, actually, there's another item. There's one final item on the show I want to discuss today. The topic that's been very, very much of interest for me is, you know, involving Tom Cruise. He did make mention of that he wanted to do an Edge of Tomorrow sequel. You know, and Edge of Tomorrow is the film he did the year prior, the sci-fi film, you know, with Emily Blunt. You know, it wasn't a box office hit, but it was really well received by the critics. I love Edge of Tomorrow. I thought it was an inventive, imaginative, well done sci-fi thriller. You know, and it had much more humor than I was expecting. And like I said, Christopher McQuarrie was a writer on that. You know, he said at the premiere of Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation that he pitched ideas to Christopher McQuarrie and Doug Liman. Doug Liman was the director of Edge of Tomorrow, about sequel. I'm not sure of the possibility of a sequel, but I wouldn't be really opposed to it. I would be concerned as to where you would go with this sequel. I mean, I would say there's some territories which you would explore in the sequel. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I would say there's a huge possibility. I mean, like I said, I'm not entirely sure at this point. What I'm worried about is, I mean, it's the idea with the idea that makes the film. I mean, I think the idea for the sequel will be the most important. Will be the most important. It was a fairly good idea. I mean, with the idea for the sequel, if it's a fairly good idea, go for it. I mean, like I said, I'm not opposed to this. I'm not really sure about it, but I'm not entirely opposed against it. Like I said, Edge of Tomorrow was fairly underrated, and overlooked. But I have a feeling that over time that the film will be more looked at, and and that more and more people will gravitate towards it, and say, "Wow, I can't believe I missed this in the theater." But I would say one thing about this: if they do make a sequel, they could delve into more about the mimics. Delve more into those those aliens, the mimics that invaded the Earth. I mean, I think that would be the best idea where to go. I mean, like I said, I'm against the idea of a sequel, but I wouldn't be entirely opposed to it. It could be interesting if this story were to continue. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be against it. I would not be against it at all. Like I said, if they have an idea for the sequel that is sound, then by all means, I will be on board for it. Okay, that is it for the show, folks. Thank you so much for joining me today. On this 9th episode of the show that we have. And then make sure you check out the other content on our channel. Most notably, several of the shows we have. Several of the shows, Caleb and Paul and Avi have. We Blue Thursdays, Wednesdays on a small screen, which hopefully will be back. I'm not sure, but and also Avi has his box office reports. And make sure you check out our main show. Our show on the main channel, Merchandise One. Or next week on Monday, we will discuss the box sets that we have, the various DVD, Blu-ray box sets that are in our various collections, such as myself. And I believe I know I have some stuff that I wanted to show off to the audience. Show off the multiple box sets that are in my collection. So I'm definitely looking forward. So definitely check out that show and definitely check out the content on this channel. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. My name is Christopher N. Miller, and until next time, I'll see you later.